Hey, let's be honest. You did not start your business to work this stinking hard. You didn't do it, but here you are. Friends, you're not stuck because you're not working hard enough. You're stuck because your business is built on you instead of a system that runs without you. And if you don't fix that underlying problem, you will never be free. Today, I'm going to go over exactly how to escape the cycle, scale without losing control, and finally get your life back. Let's get to work. At the heart of it, there is a core problem that we as business owners face. It's the why we stay stuck. One word, mediocrity. You see, most business owners think that growth is a solution to their stress. More clients, more revenue, and more work will not fix the underlying real issues with the company. Instead, they're going to be like a magnifying glass and just make the problems bigger. The real problem is that your business is not designed to scale without you. I love this statement by Warren Buffett. I heard this some years ago and it just challenged my brain. I've said it for years now. He made this statement: chains of habit are too light to be felt until they are too heavy to be broken. You see, most business owners don't even realize that they're trapped in mediocrity because it looks like hard work. They think, man, the answer has got to be with more effort or more clients or more revenue. But the real issue is not how much you work. It's how well your business is constructed. I want to give you a test. I want you to think through these questions. This is the definition of a stuck business. Perhaps you fall into one of these three, and there are many, but I'm just pulled three of them out. Have you recently said, I'm the only one who can close the big deals? Maybe not the exact words, but do you feel required to go on every sales call? Do you feel required to take every phone call for a new project? Maybe it's the biggest sale of your life. Can you walk away from that and trust your team? Maybe it's not a sales issue. Maybe it's, I make every major decision. If you're still making every major decision in your company and you've been around a while, then you're stuck in mediocrity. If you step away, everything slows down. Think about it. Just take some time off. I can't do that, Justin. I can't take any time off. If I'm not there, the company's going to implode. I literally heard a 35-year business veteran tell me that 2 days ago. Literally. It makes me so sad. See, what I've discovered is that most successful business owners are not the hardest workers. They're not. They actually appear lazy to some of the workers I've seen. Instead, they're the best systems builders. They build systems. They build processes. They build workflows because they are lazy. They don't want to do the same thing over and over and over again. When we think about mediocrity versus mastery, we have two polarizing views here. Mediocrity spreads effortlessly. It just spreads. Myron Golden says, mediocrity expands exponentially. So true. But mastery, friends, mastery is painstakingly built. Mediocrity vanishes into crowds, just hides amongst the masses. Mastery, when you master your business, you refuse to be ignored. Why? Because you built something that you know you can help your perfect avatar. Mediocrity, man, it clings to comfort. But adversity carves out greatness. If your business, as it stands today, is dependent upon you showing up each and every day, friends, you don't have a company. You own a job. So more clients, more revenue, more work will only make the problem bigger. The real fix is scaling without you, the business owner, being at the bottleneck or the epicenter of the business. You're going to hear me say mastery a lot because I want to contrast the two. I want to contrast mediocrity with mastery. You see, scaling isn't just about better systems or hiring the right people. That's not what scaling is about. It starts with rewiring how you think. Most business owners struggle not because of external challenges, but because they're stuck in the wrong mindset. And if you keep thinking like a worker, you'll never scale to be an owner. I don't know what happened to our wonder. I don't know what happened to our ambition or our abundance mindset, but over time, we get weathered. Ernest Hemingway made this powerful statement. He said, the world breaks everyone, and you and I are not exceptions. And afterward, some are strong at the broken places. Mediocrity isn't just a business problem. Mediocrity is actually a mindset problem. You see, I've watched this even as recently. Most business owners tell themselves untruths or lies and they just stay stuck. I heard somebody here recently say, well, dude, I don't want to scale. Scaling just means I have to work harder and I can't handle anymore. If you don't change, you're going to just accept the reality as it is right now. Friends, here's the truth that we must know as business owners. If your business relies on you, it has very little real value. That's the reality. And I hate to say it, but you're not going to get the amount of money you need to maintain your lifestyle in perpetuity if your business relies on you. It's just not going to happen. Scaling a business doesn't require any more work. It requires better work, more concentrated work, focused work that only you, the business owner, can do. You see, shifting from mediocrity to mastery is a shift in our thinking. See, mediocrity hides behind excuses. Mastery, man, it is built upon belief. Mediocrity over here, it whispers doubts. Like, you can't do this. There's no way. You're just an old country boy born and raised on a dirt road. You'll never write a New York Times bestseller. And we've all heard that little red devil on one shoulder where mediocrity whispers doubt. Man, mastery, it commands conviction. Like, you know what? I'm going to make this happen come hell or high water. I'm going to charge through this. I don't care if there's a wall in front of me. I'm going to go through it. That's mastery. So as I said before, business owners think the hardest part of scaling is hiring, is systems, is sales. It's not. The hardest part of scaling a business is you, as the owner, have to stop thinking like a worker and start thinking like an owner. And sidebar, not in my notes anywhere, but just as a sidebar, most of us were not trained to think like owners. We went to the government indoctrination system and they put us through 12 years of factory style mentality. And we're trained to punch in a clock and punch out a clock, listen to the bell, leave the bell, sit in classrooms, become the lowest common denominator. Regardless of where we're at in the system, we were trained to be that way. And our society doesn't have us trained to think truly like owners, like entrepreneurs, like trailblazers, those individuals out there who's coming up with ideas and then manifesting those ideas into a product or a service to serve many, many, many people because you know you can change your life. The system isn't built that way. So friends, it has to come back to our mind. Okay, third thing is action. Action is where mediocrity stagnates and where mastery begins to evolve. The difference between a business owner who scales and those who stay stuck, hitting that proverbial glass ceiling we spoke about last episode, just getting stuck, not able to have the true freedom or the income or whatever it is they desire. It is the ability to take action. That's the difference. One type of business owner gets caught with overthinking, excuses, busyness, where the other one makes decisive moves, adjusts fast, and refuses to stay in the same place, the same time tomorrow. Steve Jobs famously said, innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. Yet we as business owners, we make the same mistake over and over and over and over again. The mistake is this: we confuse business movement with progress. We stay busy. We push harder. We just justify inefficiency. When we look at mediocrity from this lens, mediocrity, if action looks like holding on to every decision instead of empowering your team, saying yes to every client instead of defining a clear avatar and going only after that one avatar, running on old systems because we've always done it that way, or for us as business owners, refusing to trust the team with our deepest things that we need in business to actually move it forward. We have to maintain it because we need to be needed, man. I want them to come to me. I've heard it all. Meanwhile, businesses that dominate and make substantial income for all the parties, not just the owner, including the employees, operate differently. Where mediocrity justifies stagnation, mastery demands evolution. Things have constantly got to be changing versus the status quo. Where mediocrity clings to the past, mastery in business dominates toward the future. If your business is not evolving, constantly changing, then you're already dying. The real difference between a struggling business owner and a successful one isn't talent, it's action. Execution is everything. It is the final line. It is the battle line between mediocrity and mastery is execution. Ideas, and we all have them. We all have tons of ideas. We business owners can think of more things than we can execute. We can think of more things in a day than we can execute in a lifetime. Let's just say that we're tenacious in this area. Ideas are worthless without execution. You don't need more strategy, more books, more plans. You need to take relentless execution. You need to take relentless action toward the goal that you already have in front of you. The business owners who win aren't the smartest. They're not the sexiest. They don't have the pedigree. They don't have the Ivy League education. The business owners who are winning, however you would define win, they're simply executing faster and better than others. You see, mediocrity is full of plans and ideas and ultimately excuses. Mastery is built on execution, discipline, and results. Friends, I do not want to stay on the side of mediocrity in business. Don't want to do it. I want to move to mastery. Mediocrity, man, it imitates. Mastery, it innovates. Mediocrity talks. Mastery moves. Execution is the only separator between those businesses which are stuck and those businesses which scale. Now, the speed at which they scale all have to do with the environment, the coaching, the mentors, the education, and all those things, which is all the things we help our coaching clients with. But the only thing that truly separates a business that's stuck and one that's excelling is execution. You built your business, no doubt, for freedom. You didn't want to work longer hours. If you'd have done that, you'd have probably taken a different career path. You built it for freedom, but now you're not free. You may have some time flexibility, but more than likely, if you're the average business owner out there, your mind is 100% dedicated to the business. I was talking to a business owner last week who's on vacation. He was thinking about all the things he has to do when he gets back to business. I was talking about a business owner who wants to take a vacation. He's thinking about all the things he has to do before he can go on vacation. So it's like we never get away from it. So you built your business for freedom. You built your business for maximum income. You built your business to create decamillionaire status for you and your family. You built your business for legacy. Whatever the reason is, you didn't build it to work harder than anybody else. You didn't build it to not have any mental clarity. But however, more than likely, you've convinced yourself that this is just normal. This is just normal. It's just part of the process. Reality, though, friends, is deep down where it really matters. In the still of night, you think, is this all there is? You have two choices. You can keep doing what you've been doing and get the same results. Definition of insanity, as many of us might imagine. So here's how to break free. Change your mind. Take decisive action and commit to execution. So friends, if you're serious about scaling your business, working less, maybe achieving decamillionaire status, whatever your goal is, it's time for us to map out a plan and you to actually get to work executing. If you don't know how to do it, if you're like, dude, I've got tunnel vision, perhaps you're someone like me who has to have a coach. I have to have a coach. I like my coaches. My coaches have driven me further than I would ever go myself. Hey, if that's you, why don't you hop on one of our free strategy calls? In this conversation, we're going to talk about what is working in your business, what's not, and more importantly, whether our coaching and membership programs can help you bust through this glass ceiling. If the frameworks that has helped literally hundreds of business owners build 7, 8, and 9-figure businesses, if that same framework that I've used to reach decamillionaire status before the age of 40, if that framework can work for me, an old country boy born and raised on a dirt road, and can work for hundreds of business owners and friends, it can work for you. So click the link below in the show notes and let's hop on a call. Until next time, friends, strive for mastery. Avoid mediocrity, strive for mastery. Y'all go out and make it a great day.